his son's gonna get some land and then we'll get some. He was trying to.
It is 6 p.m. and we'll call the meeting of the Finance Committee for Stephenson County to order. Circa Monday, August 18, 2025. So the second item on the agenda after 1.0 is 2.0, which is prayer. Mr. Dibbs, would you do the honors, sir? Thank you.
Yes. Heavenly Father, we ask that you guide this group as we do the important work for the residents of Stephenson County. Give us the strength and courage that we need to make the right decisions for the general public. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Item 3.0, approval of agenda. I was just entertaining a motion to move that.
Second.
Mr. Dibbs, and we have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Review and approval of meeting minutes from July 14th, 2025. Hopefully everybody had a chance to peruse those.
So moved.
We got lots. We got a motion to approve. Mr. Bush, I thought I heard it, and a second, Mr. Grant. Any discussion on the minutes? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of claims. We have claims, cash requirements, $337,496.97. Manuals of $728,358.49. For a total of $1,065,855.46. I'm going to take a motion to approve those.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
Any seconds, Mr. Timmons? Any discussion on the?
I just have a couple of comments.
Yes, sir.
Surprised me a little bit, postage. I don't know if the public is aware of how much this little things cost. Postage was $3,200, and these, I think it's nitrile gloves that the sheriff's, the black, real thin gloves. $2,438.68. You know, who thinks that one little gloves would be that much? So this was just, thought it was interesting. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Any other comment, thoughts? On that? Okay, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, public comment. You guys know the drill.
Yes, and evidently you figured we were coming tonight, which was interesting, but, so I just want to say a few things. To wreck the nursing center in 1970, the voters approved selling $800,000 in bonds. If you take that same $800,000, convert it to today's dollars, it's $6.6 million. You're considering a contract for 1.5. And our present, in addition, our present claims are 2.2 million. Just to come even, we're like $700,000 short. The Serenity Estates contract will give the buyer all of our accounts receivable. So that could be as much as 1.5 million. So we're giving the buyer a $1.5 million gift to buy our nursing center. I really want to make sure, you know, I'm here. I would love to change one person's mind, but hopefully for the record down the road, it'll be in the minutes. The company or the county has repeatedly stated they don't have the expertise to manage a nursing home, and yet the management company was dismissed in January 2025 because they repeatedly asked to be paid. Last December, our outstanding bills were around $580,000, and then 8 months later, since we fired TCM, those bills have jumped to 2.2 million. So we went from 580,000 to 2.2 million. Makes no sense whatsoever. One of the primary reasons for increased claims is that we're using agency staff more. Those expenses look like they've increased when you look at the records from around $5,000 to $468,000. That's quite a jump. Kind of shocking, as a matter of fact. And again, the Stephenson County citizens didn't decide to attempt another sale. The board did. The last sale that the board decided to do was in January of 23. And once again, the board refuses to obey the law and consult the citizens by taking, by asking the citizens what they want to do. This company we're selling to is a private equity. If you've done any research at all on private equities, they are in business to make money. You guys can't figure it out. How are they gonna figure it out? Makes no sense.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Yes. Steve, my voice is kind of, it gets kind of raspy. Ed Klein, first I wanted to kind of just set the record straight on PCM and my relationship with them. It has been suggested several times that somehow I have a connection or a financial situation going with them, that I work for them or something, and that's this is the truth. I think since meeting them and seeing what they did to help our nursing center out of where it was at, whether it was reducing fines or straightening out the billing, or they have done nothing that I have seen that has not been A1. Now, I understand that there have been issues at times, and I understand that. But when you look at where we were at the end of 2003, if you go to the audit, which the audit is a really important document, our net position increased by over $600,000 in 23. That we were well on the way to making this thing work long-term. And I think we're still there. If there is we don't have to sell it to Serenity Estates. The worst thing about selling it to Serenity Estates is that we don't own that building anymore. We built it. These citizens decided to build it. They've supported it all these years, and then we're just going to give it away. I think we take care of people from birth to death. We look at what their needs are. You can't go just by what's mandated. I don't know if you guys realize this. You should look into it. The highway department actually is not mandated. Highway engineer is. The department, we could put it out to Helm if we wanted to. So it's just, I think we need to pick and choose what's important for our community and what the community wants. And we are not letting the community to speak on this. And I think that is really a sad affair. Thank you.
Thank you. See no one else, we will keep moving. So the Fortune Committee, Diamond Brothers, she'll be here next month. I think to start the year-end process, what we need to do to go through the insurance processing. So, Madam County Administrator, you have the floor.
My apologies, as there was not really a formal report put on the agenda for admin or finance.
It's all right.
Majority of my time has been working through things with the changeover in different administrators at the nursing home and just all of the things related to the nursing home that have been going on. I was able to, on July 24th, go to my regional ILCMA meeting, which is my professional organization that I'm a part of. And at that meeting, John Phillips, who has been a senior advisor through the group for a number of years, announced his upcoming retirement at the end of the year. So kind of sad to see him go. He's been a mentor and kind of reference for me since starting this position. But other than that, April 14th, I did attend the economic development conversation.
What?
Did I say?
You
No,
said April.
August.
Yeah.
This is how my brain has been working. I apologize. August 14th, I did attend the economic development conversation that Greater Footprint Partnership hosted for the city and the county. Chairman Helms and Mayor Miller were the guest speakers at that. And it was kind of a roundtable discussion, questions and answers. So next Greater Footprint Partnership meeting is the 27th. And our RFPs for copiers that we issued, we did not receive any bids on. So that's supposed to close today. That is all I have.
Don't forget the 10 to 15 phone calls you take from me a day.
Any questions? Okay, hearing none. Hearing none, the floor.
Right. I do not really have an audit update this month. Lindsay has assured me that they will be done soon. They've sent a couple emails. I think they have a few, just, tying up loose ends, and then I haven't gotten anything for the last about week. So I think they're kind of like wrapping everything up and hopefully they'll.
Now, how is the potential sale of the nursing home playing into this?
So
Something there.
the treasurer and I have reached out to ask, as far as the AR goes, how we're supposed to book that into our system and give it to Serenity if the sale does happen. Because they're supposed to receive that as of September 1st. So we're kind of working through that process. We haven't really dug into what's going to happen outside of that quite yet.
Okay.
Um,
Have they given you any guidance at all?
and we really
Or
haven't
just like
reached
they
out
were-
except for that, because we know that very soon that could be happening.
Right.
The impact on the county as a whole, we'll probably work through that a little bit later, but in terms of audit.
Okay. So as far as the calendar goes,
Go ahead. I was just gonna, sure don't be able to.
as far as the calendar goes, we had an audit update last month and we're at the point where committees are beginning to approve the budget worksheets.
Yes.
So I realize that doesn't really play into the audit, but you're saying the audit, you're hoping to hear something final. Any updates on the budget worksheets at this point?
Most committees are looking them over and I'm going to be passing them next month. So I will be attending all of the committee meetings next month. And I think probation.
Court
This-
services had a few.
Yes.
But that was,
Yes.
yeah. Probation asked for at least the probation service fee fund, which is their revenues collected from probation service fees that are statutorily obligated. She needed that approved at this point in the process for her annual plan that she has to submit to the AOIC. So she had requested that budget at least get passed. So, understanding that it was just passed by her committee, but.
Right.
All right. Mr. Chairman.
So where are we with the audit compared to last year? Are we
They
on-
presented to the finance committee in September
Okay, so it's not being delayed by me or anybody else, is that right, as far as you know?
by you.
Yeah, by me.
No,
I'm being accused of withholding the audit because the nursing home figures are gonna come back so much better until after the sale.
That's laughable, I'm sorry.
no.
By our friends that just left.
Okay.
The audit should have been in by now already. I'm not withholding the audit. Apology said it.
You guys plan to do
We're on schedule, actually.
Dream up this stuff.
Which brings me to my next point, the financial status.
audit.
So this is a more
Realistic.
realistic, accurate representation of the things that should be happening. So I would like to view this as kind of a living document. We can adjust as needed. If you want to see something moved or deleted altogether, we can do that. But this seems to be more in line with how things actually work. So I don't need to maybe do everything every month. Every couple months, I'll give an audit update, just. And this was also based on the health insurance renewal with the open enrollment in October.
Right.
So we needed to make those revisions as well.
Yeah, so we'll go through that.
The revenue and expense report, you'll see, the tax revenue has hit the, accounts that were included in the county's levy. So see a huge increase in the percentage there. Mr. Whalen did bring up the county motor fuel tax amount is a little bit behind. So I will be reaching out to the highway department to see if they have any insight on that revenue amount. Does anybody have any questions on that report before I move on?
Yeah, if you guys look at that, the county motor fuel tax is 31.5, and the township motor fuel tax is 55.8. I would think those two would track fairly closely. So it just didn't make, when I saw that, it didn't make sense, so. I didn't stand enough to say she was that. Thank you.
So I will let you know about that. So moving on to the budget, to just touch on that once again. So there seems to be a little bit of confusion about certain items. So I sent an email on the 14th that I'm sure you all saw, and it outlined how personnel requests need to be submitted and how they need to be shown in the budget worksheets. So all the department heads have access to the master budget worksheet in Teams. They can print their budget worksheets from that master worksheet. So everything should be uniform when it comes to that. And I realize that things are not. So at this point, I will talk to the department heads, make sure that we're all on the same page. So everything is uniform when it's brought forward to the committee. Obviously, when I present, it's up on the big screen. It's not really an issue, but there's just been some confusion with how the information is presented, especially with asking for increases that are outside of the COLA that's in the budget policy. So I did send out the budget policy again. I'm not sure if all board members realize that had been passed previously. And this is just a useful, I included this in my email. This is just a very useful tool. When we start this process, all of the funds out highlighted in blue are those included in the county's levy. And just to point out once again that all of these 28 departments are covered by general fund revenues. That is huge. And so when these departments are presenting their budgets, they're simply coming to you with expenses. And the issue that we run into every year is, well, I don't know how are we going to pay for it? So we have to kind of compile all of these to see what the requests are. The revenues are done. They are in place. There's a couple of different placeholders as far as cash carry forward and the real estate tax amount for the general fund. But other than that, I've consulted with all department heads. We feel pretty confident with where we're sitting right now. So when we get all of that information compiled and bring it to you next month, we'll have a very good idea of what needs to happen moving forward. From what I can see right now, it looks like things are going to have to be reduced. If I had to guess, I would say probably around $150,000 across the board, if we want to stay on track and have money available for capital expenses and things of that nature. So just to give you an idea, but still working through all of that and getting finalized numbers for, I think there's probably, what is it, county board expense, the health insurance, obviously, and the transfer account. Those are the things that are kind of up in the air at this point. So that's how we're looking.
So we should have be able to look through this by next month, you're expecting
Yes,
to start.
I will have, this committee will have access to the team's worksheet on September 2nd. So you will have it in time for the meeting next month.
Mr. Chairman?
So $150,000 reduction over 2025 numbers.
So this is
Was.
over the request. So all of so given the revenues that we anticipate in 2026 and the requests that we're seeing in 2026, we're going to be in the deficit in the general fund. And that was with readjusting the tax levy as well.
So just about every department has increased their expenses between 5% and 6% year over year. So as you're approving these out of the committee, keep that in mind. 5-6% increase, but you got to reduce it by 150,000, right?
Right.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right, go ahead, Frank.
Let's just say theoretically that a department head wants $20,000 to give an extra raise. So is it up to the department head to come up with a plan to raise that or cut his expenses? Or how do we go about deciding that we have the extra $20,000?
Right, so that's an option. anything above what the budget policy outlined cannot be approved. I know that there are several departments that have requests for, additional 2% for certain
Right,
employees. Supplemental requests are another component because there is a transfer from the general fund to the capital fund to fund. Just throwing out what's happened in the past, highway projects, the oil truck for the highway department, sheriff's vehicles, jail lot resurfacing, IT expenses, things of that nature. So yeah, it's kind of up to the committee how you want to attack that. I can provide options. And I don't know if it would be helpful for the entire county board to have access to that prior to the committee meetings next month to see the whole picture. Because I can do that. It's just, there can't be any editing being done. Because that will just be,
well, if we simply can't afford it, you have to say no, and then you have to say no. That's why I was just wondering, like, if that's our option, well, that's one option.
that's one option.
My sense of it is, if I'm a department head, if I really want something done, I'm gonna ask for it. If I don't get it, I don't get it, kind of thing. So,
Yeah, can't afford to ask.
Right.
This might be premature, but how did you handle the nursing home levy and things like insurance that has gotten quite expensive out there?
Obviously, there will not be a reimbursement coming from the nursing center. I mean, everything is still in place as far as the tax levy. I have not reduced it or taken it away or reallocated it anywhere else.
So the
So-
$150,000 shortfall is including a $500,000 levy to the nursing home
Next year.
Yeah.
next year, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that won't change unless it's sold.
Won't even change if it gets sold.
Well, yeah.
That levy's gonna be in
The
place.
situation we're in.
At least 4 to
it can't
5 more
change.
years.
Right.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Hold on a little.
Told you it was premature.
Pardon?
I told you it was premature.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
That's all.
Okay. Any other questions? Treasury reports, hopefully everybody saw that. It's her kind of her standard fare. So I didn't see anything that stuck out at me, Mr. Chairman. Any comments on that?
Treasury report?
Yeah.
No, sir.
No? Figuring any comments on that?
No, sir.
Okay, making sure. All right, any other thoughts, comments from the committee on the treasury report? Hearing none and seeing no old business, we'll move to new business. Approval of sale of surplus properties. Hopefully you saw the treasurer's note on that. I have a packet here that I would like to take all these at once and submit them to the committee. It's a total, 1, 2, 3, 17 properties that are all going to the city of Freeport. Total collected was $13,855. And the county treasurer got $5,100 and $5,100 out of that, and it was 1105 in the quarter. Sent to record these for the Secretary of State. So I would entertain a motion to approve these as presented. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. So these will go to the county board. And Thursday. Everybody needs to sign. Okay, thank you much. And next we have approval of RFP professional audit services. And I imagine one of you ladies is going to talk about that.
I will go ahead and
Okay.
present that. When county did the RFP last time is when we went from Whitley to Sickage. Our contract is up with them, so we are reissuing an RFP for audit services. Looking through that, it is the same RFP I used last time. Finance director and I did look through things. She found a few little typos I need to correct, if it does get approved, but other than that, I believe it's, covers everything that we are looking for and what we need to go out for bids for.
So you would like to hear a motion to approve it as presented, assuming typos are fixed.
Correct.
Okay, we have a motion. I hear a second and a second. Any other discussion on that? Your standard here, and our county attorney's okay with this?
I will send it to him.
I'm sure.
He had reviewed it.
Yeah.
Previously, yeah,
so,
yeah.
okay. All right, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right. Approval of participation in the National Opioid Settlement, which I imagine somebody else is gonna talk about. Possibly.
So this is just, another settlement agreement. The board has, approved this and passed. This is about 6 months ago, 12 months ago.
Yeah.
This needs to happen in order for us to collect money for the opioid settlement with these new entities. Yeah.
So there are other companies that are having to cough up money.
Yes,
And
correct.
that's the point.
Yeah,
In order for us to get a piece of the pie, we need to vote.
Say we want a piece of that.
Yes.
Move to approve.
I have a motion to approve and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right. Let's see, fire chair reports. I would say from a finance standpoint, things look pretty decent outside of the one place continues to be a drag. We'll say any more about that and see what happens this week. Otherwise, I think things seem in pretty decent shape, so appreciate all the efforts on that evening. Administration, any thoughts, comments?
Just kind of reviewed the budgets and I think half of them were probably ready to go. The other ones should be ready to go here in September. The books ironed out of them. Then we had a job description for a deputy assessor and that got passed. I think that needs to go. Does that have to go to the board? The full month,
Job description now.
just that got passed. And then we had a 9.3 approval of resolution establishing holiday calendars of 2026. Yeah, that one turned out to be interesting. I thought we were all ready to go. It's a long story. We'll get into it Thursday, but we ended up adding another day because of what was going on with the circuit, the circuit clerk's office. They get an extra day, and I'll go into more detail with that. So we got it out of committee 2-1 votes. We can adjust it at the county board as needed as we talk through it. So I see, they got there's a lot of holidays on there. I think based on a private company, but ain't much you can do about it. So we'll have that conversation on Thursday. Something else to look forward to.
Yeah. Do we actually have any control over that? Sure, it's still being.
Not really.
We have much.
Not
We want
much.
to get extra days, I'm sure. Yeah.
The extra day thing,
I was gonna say the courthouse and all the offices therein go by the chief judge's calendar.
Yeah.
And then our circuit judges who added the additional day.
I'm just curious.
So they
they kind of don't, they're not the same and they didn't jive this time. So
But there are lots of other ways to control those.
yes. Yeah, and we can,
There's lots of other ways to control those
right.
things.
So
If you want to be negative, you control the budget. You reduce the budget.
right.
If you don't, if they're gonna cost us more days every year, we're looking at like 3 full weeks
Oh, I know, it's like
of paid time off.
19 days or something?
No, it's 15.
15?
That's without even
Yeah.
vacation, right? That's just
That's
the
right.
ones we allocate.
So we
So
can,
you can reduce the budget, you can reduce staff. to take care of that if that's what they want to do.
Right, yeah, and we can, like I said, if we wanna take that extra day off on Thursday, or we wanna just give it to,
Everybody,
or everybody, or just the courthouse, we'll figure that out on Thursday. So, yeah, we've got a conversation, we gotta work through. Other than that, it was just normal stuff.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yep.
Now, the next one will be nursing center. I would just hit me. I wanted to mention a couple things quick. We hear a lot about, how great, things were when we were under the management company. And it hit me that by the end of 2023, we were showing over profit, but by the end of 2024, if you remember right, there's not a, and I tried telling folks that by the end of 2023, that when that bed rate, because that was the key factor, you guys go back and look at the rate that we were charging per person, per bed, per day, basically, right? You know, the county can charge a little bit more to Medicaid than what a regular outfit can. And so there was a lot of talk around that being an advantage. Well, it is an advantage. I think it's an unfair advantage to our private companies, which I don't understand how we get away with that. But anyway, if you look at that rate over time and how it developed and how it ended up by the end of 2024, there's a lot that speaks to how profitable we were for a time and how that way. So anyway, and then I thought one of the most significant things that we heard at the county board meeting last month, when I about fell out of my chair, is when the employees came up and supported the sale. I think we all hopefully will be considering that, because for them to do that, I think was a big deal. Really surprised me completely. It took me totally by it. I was just like, oh my goodness. So,
Well, I think I'll just chime in a little bit. I wasn't in some of those meetings, but I don't know that all the information was being passed on to the employees at all, as we've been working through these issues.
right. And they talked
some of
some
these-
about that too. think,
Yeah, I
so.
don't know that all that information was being passed. I wasn't there, but
Right.
some of these other things that were brought up in public comment, we'll address those on Thursday, but there's some things that are not true that were said, so.
Anyway, I just thought that
Talk
was
about that
something
on Thursday.
to mention.
I was glad too that they came, but I guess the question I have, were they speaking for all the people that, the staff out there, or did you speaking for themselves? And
Yeah,
then also too, getting back, there's so much information out there and everybody's not getting some of it, some are and everything else. That's one reason why I was pushing for of having a town hall meeting, really get that information out there. Because there's so much out there that people really don't know and they're taking it wrong. I didn't know you was holding all that back, you know.
I didn't either.
So there's a lot of truth floating around.
So it's so much out there, you know. But I was just concerned on were they speaking for all the staff or just speaking for themselves? Yeah, I was glad because that's one thing that I was. My major thing was I was sticking up for the workers. It wasn't for no Democrat Party, anybody else. It's for the work. I'm a union man.
a lot of people that live there too. I want what's best for them all too. But anyway,
Since we talk about the nursing home, I don't know what we was talking about, but I wasn't at the nursing home committee. What about these fines that I'm hearing?
I was waiting for Mr. Whalen to finish and then I was going to say,
well,
since Ms.
yeah.
Baker is
why don't
not
you
here,
mention-
I'll
While we're
offer.
at it, you might as well mention what happened, what came in today.
So, as all of you received the two pieces of mail that were received today, these all relate back to the PBJ that was not filed for Q2. The first fine, the $25,000 one for staffing violations, is the state level fine for the $25,000 federal level fine that we discussed Thursday at the nursing center. So they're independent. There's a $25,000 assessment from both agencies. The other fine, after conversations with Dory Seifried through IPMG, she recommended that we seek services through, used to be Copen Erdo, for those of you who've been on the board for a long time, you've probably heard that firm. They represented the nursing home and some other things. It's now Erdo Werwas. So there will be a engagement letter to engage their services to fight the other fine that came out. Carl was on board with us engaging with them. I had a phone conversation with them and they'll be sending an
How
engagement.
does that work when we have an employee that says that they're taking care of something and they're not? I mean, it really depends on how they look at that. I understand that, but
So
so
George,
that's the sense of what I read into this. I mean, we thought that was being taken care of by someone who we thought was being responsible and was running the,
yeah, I'm not gonna get into employment matters of
Okay.
even
understood.
previous employees,
Yep.
however, it's a conversation I've already had with Georgia.
Yeah, I was just talking about in the general sense. I wasn't trying to refer to one employee
Pursuing
necessarily.
further.
Okay,
There's lots of issues that contractually were not followed,
okay,
not by us.
right. Yes.
Can we mention how much that second fine was?
No, you didn't, that's why I'm waiting.
I'm waiting for the punchline.
I
So the
was
public knows.
gonna leave that to our
Tell the public how much that.
$1,655,348.40.
It's not the largest fine, they'll just say.
I'm just saying, one thing after another, that thing.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense,
Five or
Mr.
six years
Bush.
ago, we had
That's,
$2 million
that's,
fine.
that's the exact look I had on my face when I read that. I'm like,
I was like, I'm
So
not looking
our
at it.
staffing levels were fine, just so everybody knows, but the PBJ was not done. When you don't do that report, the state feels we weren't properly staffed, so that's why the fine is there.
Yeah.
Well, he should walk away from that.
Well, what we're trying to do is hopefully let the state know that the staffing levels were correct. So hopefully, just not turning in the report doesn't, you shouldn't have to pay $1.6 million.
Yeah, we're not
Turn in a report.
So that is based on every licensed bed, whether it's occupied or not having any required hours of nursing therapy.
Right.
RN, any of the things that are built into that daily rate, it's figured for that entire.
So we're basically have to supply all the data to prove that we had the staffing and all that.
So the last time the county had about a $2 million fine at the nursing home, 5 or 6 years ago, it got reduced to about 40,000. Now, I'm not saying that's gonna happen again,
okay,
But that was the last time we engaged with this firm.
right?
good. Any questions on that, thoughts?
How we gonna have? We're gonna have any issues that we didn't do an RFP on that engagement?
No, Carl just
Professional
said
service.
it's a professional service. He
Very
and our liability both recommended, that's who I reach out to. So he said it was just a matter of passing the engagement letter through the board.
Thank you.
Okay.
I guess, can I say one more thing?
You go right ahead, Mr.
Mr.
Chairman.
Bush wasn't here, I did talk about this at nursing, and the rest of you weren't here either, except for Mr. Wayne, I believe, so. The contract for the sale of the home. Is at the attorney's. Georgia and I talked to our attorney tonight, he's gonna have it back to us by 10 AM tomorrow. We will get it out with the board packet for everyone to review. 48 hours should be enough, because as you remember in July, at the board meeting, I said, if anybody wants to come up and look at it in its draft form, you can. No one came up, so I'm assuming 48 hours will be more than enough. We'll let you know that this is a 3-part contract. The first part is we vote on it for Thursday. If it passes, Serenity Estates will take over the liabilities as of September 1st. The closing won't happen that fast because we'll have to wait for IBPH. So September 1st, they take over all of the billing as of that date. So any new billing September 1st forward will be handled by Serenity Estates. Payroll, Omnicare for drugs, which, you know, they've tried to pull out staffing, all of it. But they also will receive all the revenue coming in, help fund that. There's gonna be a massive shortfall, as we all know, because if it's not cash flow, they're gonna be covering all of that extra on their own dime. The second part is the real estate closing, which will take place, could be a week, could be 2 weeks. Still trying to work out the dates on that. The third part is the IDPH approval and the transfer of the license. That could take up to 90 days, possibly even 120 days. The good news is we've been in touch with IDPH, independent of our big fine that we got from them. Serenity Estates has been in touch with IDPH. They're well aware of our intent to sell, and they are looking to fast track the approval process if they can, because they understand how dire it is. So when I mentioned this at nursing the other night, of course, the comment came up. What, you're hiring a management company? No, we are not hiring a management company. The question was, why didn't you just use GCM when they put in their bid for the RFQ? Because the RFQ was for sale, right? Serenity Estates taking over the operation as of September 1st is not a management agreement, and it's a component of the sale. But I guarantee somebody's gonna be talking about that Thursday night. But we're not hiring them to manage the facility. They're running it. We're not paying them to run it. They're receiving accounts receivable that's coming in. But they're taking care of all the liabilities. They're not charging us a fee or anything else. It's just that ensures that everybody gets to stay out there and the employees will have jobs. Now, they won't be county employees anymore. They'll be Serenity Estates employees. That's September 1st.
I'll just mention, Chairman, that past due or that income that's coming in, that's what Serenity's gonna use to keep that thing open.
Minus the
Not like we're
300
giving
and some thousand we're writing off this month, yes.
It's not like we're giving them a big gift, like we just heard a while back.
Their payroll alone, is they're gonna be covering the accrued time off that these people have,
Right,
the residents or the employees.
Yeah.
That's 200,000 to 300,000,
I
give or
think the
take,
estimate was 240.
240.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their money.
yeah,
That's nothing that we're paying. That doesn't come out of the purchase price. That's their money that they're putting into that. So that's also assuming that any of this AR is collectible.
right now. Never wrote it off before. What?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mr. China.
Always.
Mr. Chairman, what do you expect will happen if it goes through on Thursday? What do you expect will happen with the nursing center committee and that?
It's gonna stay intact and it will still meet until the license is transferred.
That makes sense.
Then I've got other ideas after that. I hope and pray it all goes through. Nothing slows it down or stops it. Ideally, by the end of the year, I would love to be able to have it completely transferred to and everybody is staying out there, the employees all have their jobs. It's being operated by a professional company that knows what they're doing.
And that doesn't have the politics.
All
the employees know this.
Yes. Yeah. Their union representative, well, I shouldn't say this, I mean, we told the union. We've got payment agreements in place right now that are tied to Serenity Estates taking over and paying on September 1st. Now, they're unofficial because Serenity Estates is going to have to fund these. But if this doesn't go through, we're not gonna be able to fund Omnicare's payment plan for the drugs, and it will be cash on delivery, which we don't have the cash to do. The staffing agencies, payment plans are in place with them. If that's not us, that's Serenity Estates. Food service, we're still okay. I think they said we could be a year past due before they start to get worried.
Matrix.
Matrix, that's the part, that's the part.
That's a big one.
That's.
Yeah, I mean, if this doesn't go through,
We don't have a billing
We
company.
won't have a billing company any longer. We will not have
Medical insurance.
new coming in.
We're done.
We will in effect be done.
Will be done. It'll be closed.
That's exactly
That's
what.
not what we want. It'll be closed. That's not what we want.
The Omnicare, that's the drug company, right? Omnicare, let's get that confused. They only have to give us, according to their contract, the 3-day notice that they're pulling out.
Oh, gee. Wow.
And if they do that, we'll have to move the residents.
Yeah.
They'll have to have their medication.
Right. I know. Down the wire, folks.
Man, you never get much closer than that.
Okay, that's enough on the nursing center. I'm sure we'll hear more about it on Thursday. Public property and safety.
No more than you go over the budget, other than that, I have nothing.
We'll talk about the open house Thursday.
Oh, yeah, yeah, but there is an open house, that will come and give a tour of the courthouse. I will tell you, the sheriff had done an excellent job. The times that he's been there. When I met with him, he took me on a tour and, I was really impressed.
Mr.
In fact-
Townsend was saying that too.
In fact, I brought it up at our meeting of us moving our meetings that always coming here. At the courthouse where the committee members could see it, and those that always hearing about it, you can see it. And they did mention that they're gonna have open house, so, but I would highly encourage each and every one of you to come and see,
Come early.
come around.
They flew in Hayes for cupcakes.
Sweet.
First you gotta get here. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Court services.
Nothing too exciting. We did, discuss, budgets and we passed 3 of them, I think, passed 2 days long. There was some that we need more documentation. So we'll work on them next month. That's.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Planning and development.
Oh, we look at a couple budgets as well. We are to continue to look at those and pass those next month. We did have speakers Dan Pad there from Blackhawk Hills about some things that they're doing in the community, some things that they're putting out. They're putting some trail counters out on Jane Addams Trail just to see how many people are out there. We did speak with a gentleman that is close to the trail that is in the process of renting and selling e-bikes up by Orangeville. And he wanted to know what he had to do to continue that process and move it forward. So I think there was some good things there. We always enjoy hearing from GFP and the number of job postings and unique job postings that are available out in our area in Stephenson County. Always, there's a lot of job openings out there.
More than I would have thought.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Thank you, sir, very much.
Oh, I did one other thing. We did talk about possible expansion of Blackhawk Park. And I will have more information on that for you at the board. I'll have some maps and you should have that. I have, this newcomer's going to be getting those to you in your packet. And we need to come up with some sort of a plan. Because the gentleman would like to give us the property, but he also wants to see something done with it, not just become a pile of dead trees down there.
And just as a note, I had told Mr. Frick, Jasmine will have her attach it under the title for planning and development, since there's not really a
There's no
topic
action,
correlated
it's
to it, and she'll note that in the email when it comes out,
It's
but
not
that's
an
where you
action
can
item,
find the
it's-
map, yeah.
All righty. Thank you. Steve, Public Works, right?
So, Public Works had a really uneventful committee meeting. Not a lot going on now. Construction season is slowing down. They did a lot of seal coating this year and, so our, planning, the pavement preservation program is still working well. It's a great asset to have in this county. We did spend some time with animal control, doing a little research work there that perhaps we can relocate into another facility. We're just in the research stage at this point. With that, we also spent some time with the budget as well. And that's really come together quite nicely. There was some minor tweaks that need to be done. But it got laid over for another month. There are plans by the highway department to come with supplemental requests as they've done in the past. And so that won't be a surprise when it is this committee, so.
Yeah.
That's about all.
Thank you.
There are still plenty of cats and dogs available for the forever home, Mr. Chairman, so.
I would be one to probably add to that.
So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, any other thoughts, comments?
Just, I think an admin, public property and safety, board services, there were employee requests of far in excess of 4% of budget policy. And I don't believe any of those departments that had those brought any of the documentation that's required or calculated out. So please,
Yes, that's
would talk to your departments about that. I think you had one for
I think-
9%.
Or, no, I don't think it was 9. I think that was incorrect on that sheet. She had 2 for 6, 4 and 2. There was a sheet in there, but I don't know if it was the right form or not. So,
Right, it was not. I had reached out and asked for that.
okay.
The
So yeah,
sheriff
we got
had
some work.
one
We got some work.
and state's attorney.
And I don't think it was gonna be 8%. I'll have to look at that.
And I do remember hearing
Yeah.
nine, but I can't remember what the
I
I'll look.
don't think it
justification
was
was.
done.
I don't think it was done
I'll do hers
correctly.
correctly.
I don't think it was
Oh,
correct.
it was the part-time person that was included in that.
Yeah.
Going to a full-time
Right.
hours.
Well, it was like the 2 deputies and the
Calculated
part-time
something.
person, it looked like.
Yeah,
It was
calculated
wrong.
wrong, I think, if I remember. It's square away.
All right.
Oh,
Mr.
wait,
Bush?
one more question, Rick, about the, I guess going back to the budget. You wanna reduce the budget by how much?
I'm not 100% sure yet. Right now, the preliminary number is 150,000 in the general fund. But there are things that we can do. We can not fund supplemental requests, we can fund personnel requests. There's options out there.
Just wondering, I just, the department is aware of that.
No,
Should we make them aware of that number? Or do we wait until you get on more?
so when I send out the Teams worksheet to the entire county board, I will reiterate, I'll CC all the department heads and let them know what's going on. Saying that, the preliminary numbers are out there. You can see it in the budget summary. Each fund and how much there's a surplus or a deficit. So at that point, I'll let them know.
Okay. Wonderful.
Mr. Bush,
So,
I have a motion to adjourn and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all very much.
Everybody's planning to be at board meeting Thursday, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
You mean to pick anybody up on the way?
Awesome.
Just let me know.
Awesome.
Keep it pretzel.
I'll grab your brother.